What if everything you believe about love was invented, not discovered, not felt for the first time by you? Invented, constructed by hands that had been dead for 10,000 years before you were born. The ring on your finger, the ceremony, the vow, the white dress, the promise to stay. None of it was always there. When you find out where it actually came from, it will change the way you see every relationship you've ever had. Go back, far back, before churches, before contracts, before anyone even had a word for husband. 40,000 years ago, a man and a woman didn't walk down an aisle. There was no aisle. There was no priest. There was just fire and cold and survival and another human being who made the cold feel smaller. That was it. That was the first marriage. Two people choosing proximity, choosing warmth over solitude. It wasn't romantic. It was primal. Anthropologists believe that the earliest human pair bonds had almost nothing to do with love as we imagine it. They were agreements, biological contracts, signed not with words, but with shared food, shared shelter, and shared danger. She gathered, he hunted. Together they ate. Together their children survived. That's where it started. But then, something changed. When humans stopped wandering and started farming, marriage became something darker. Roughly 10,000 years ago, the agricultural revolution didn't just change what people ate, it changed who people owned. Now there was land, there was grain, there was inheritance, and suddenly, for the very first time in human history, a woman's body became property. In ancient Mesopotamia, marriage wasn't a celebration, it was a sale. A father handed his daughter to another man in exchange for silver, livestock, sometimes nothing more than grain. The ceremony existed not to declare love, but to transfer legal ownership. The bride didn't choose the groom's family chose the bride's price. And here's where it gets stranger. In ancient Egypt, something almost radical happened. Some of the earliest written evidence of love-based marriage comes from Egyptian papyrus scrolls. Couples wrote to each other tender, aching letters that sound disturbingly modern. "You set my heart racing," one man wrote to a woman thousands of years ago. But even in Egypt, marriage was still fundamentally about family alliances, political power, and the protection of bloodlines. Pharaohs married their sisters, not out of perversion, out of political strategy, to keep power within a single bloodline, to make sure the divine claim to the throne stayed pure. And this is the part almost nobody talks about. In ancient Greece, the civilization that gave us philosophy and democracy, women had almost no legal identity inside a marriage. A wife was considered a minor permanently under the legal authority of her husband. For her entire life, she could not own property, could not testify in court, could not leave without permission. The Greeks had a word for it: kyrios, a male guardian, the owner of a woman's legal existence. Ancient Rome was different and in some ways more unsettling. By the late Republic, Roman women had extraordinary freedoms. They could own property, they could divorce, they could inherit. Marriages could be dissolved as casually as business partnerships. Divorce rates skyrocketed among the Roman elite. Sound familiar? But here's the twist that changes everything. In some ancient cultures, the Mosuo people of southwestern China, the Na, there was no marriage at all. Men and women didn't live together. They didn't share households. Fathers played almost no role in raising children. Women held all the property. Women led the families. Men visited in the night, what the Mosuo called walking marriages, and returned to their own maternal homes before dawn. Their society was stable. Their children were loved. Their communities survived for thousands of years without a single wedding ceremony. So, we have to ask the question that feels almost too uncomfortable to ask. What is marriage really? Because the evidence tells us this. Across 10,000 years of human history, marriage has been a survival contract, a property arrangement, a political alliance, a religious institution, a legal framework, a romantic ideal. It has been all of these things, in different centuries, in different cultures, simultaneously across the globe. There is no single original version. What you think of as marriage The version you grew up watching in films, the version your parents modeled or failed to model, the version you either want desperately or want to escape. That version is extremely young. It is, historically speaking, barely a few hundred years old. The idea of marrying for love, freely choosing your partner, and building a life together as equals, that is a radical modern invention. Your ancient ancestors would have found it bizarre, irresponsible, dangerously naive. And yet here you are, a product of 10,000 years of people pairing off, fighting, negotiating, compromising, and somehow continuing, carrying inside you a need for connection so deep that no amount of history can explain it away. This was never really about marriage. It was always about the unbearable weight of being human alone. The rituals change, the ceremonies shift, the laws rewrite themselves every few generations, but something doesn't change. In every ancient culture, on every continent, across every era, humans reached for another person. In caves, in temples, in courtrooms, on rice paper, on stone tablets, on apps with infinite scrolling. The format is irrelevant. The need is ancient. So the next time you watch two people stand in front of witnesses and make a promise, remember that they are doing something that stretches back farther than language, farther than agriculture, farther than civilization. They are doing something so old, so stubbornly human, that 10,000 years of war, plague, empire, and collapse couldn't kill it. Maybe that means it's a beautiful thing, or maybe it means we simply haven't learned to be alone. Perhaps both are true. Perhaps that's what makes it sacred. We didn't invent marriage because we found love. We found love because we were too afraid of the dark to.